Al-Qaeda's voice to the West will speak no more. The killing of American-born Anwar al Awlaki removes a propagandist well-schooled in the ways of the West. His online sermons delivered in an everyday language for terror recruits here in America. But does Awlaki's death wipe out Al-Qaeda's reach here in the U.S.? Let's bring in Fox News Middle East and terrorism analyst Walid Phares, author of The Coming Revolution, The Struggle for Freedom in the Middle East. Walid, it's always good to gain your insights on this particular topic. Now that Awlaki is dead, as well as some of his top lieutenants, what does this mean for the United States in terms of Al-Qaeda's reach into the United States to inspire and even reach out and recruit lone wolves or operators here in America?
Well, first of all, al Awlaki was indeed a very important maker of American jihadists, should they be organized as cells or homegrown jihadists, lone wolves. But al Awlaki, let's remember, he was made by an ideology, and the ideology is still around. Second, for more or less than a decade, he has been working on creating the next wave of al Awlakis in the United States. Let's assume that, yes, this is a tactical victory, but it won't have a strategic implication unless we begin with the war of ideas, which we haven't done, really.
Okay, so what do we have to do on that front, Walid? It's one thing to have a tactical advantage and be able to take out people like Awlaki, these bad characters. But as you stated, there are more out there who can fill the shoes of those who have been liquidated thus far.
Well, evidence is very simple. He used to send emails and or activities online for readers. I mean, he had hundreds, if not thousands of readers. Now, those readers are the generation of the next Awlakis. What the United States and their allies should be doing, on the one hand, very successful in eliminating those commanders, but on the other hand, find allies, find counter-jihadists. Those are the ones who are going to be winning that online battle, not us.
You know, that is a concern that that has to be one. We have to be very vigilant about that. What would be your advice to the U.S. government in trying to infiltrate those websites, to tear them down, and to also try to get the word out there that America is not against Islam. It's against the militant forces coming from within.
Absolutely, and to go 1 inch further, to say that this is an ideology. This is not an issue of religion and theology. We need to be very clear, and to do so, we have to identify it. And second, we need to find, as I said, allies. We have a huge opportunity. It is called the Arab Spring. Across the board in the region, we see young people, males and females, with websites, with Facebook, coming against those anti-democracy forces, including Al-Qaeda. So we need to partner with them, not with the Muslim Brotherhood or those who are actually ideologically feeding Al-Qaeda.
Very important point right there, Walid. Another important thing that took place today, NATO announcing that it has captured one of the top senior commanders of the Haqqani network. How vital of a role could his capture play in bringing down that network that has been operating against our forces in Afghanistan?
It will all depend on the amount of information he has to offer and the amount of information the agencies will be able to receive, and comparing this with what the government of Afghanistan knows. But the little problem that we have is that most of the Haqqani network is Pakistan-based, and we know that strategic relationship between us and the intelligence community of Pakistan is not at the very high level. So we need to fix that on the one hand, but it's very important for the American public and the international public to understand that it's not just the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda, it's the Jihadi web, and Haqqani network is in the heart
well,
of that
again,
web.
that underscores exactly what you've been talking about all along, and that is the ideology of these militants. Right. How do we get in and unravel that so that we can help protect the United States as well as our allies from these terror networks?
First, by considering and understanding that what binds all of these networks is not the organization, it's the ideology. That's the factory. What can counter that, first of all, is how we behave, on the one hand, but something else is to work with those who in those communities are anti-jihadists, the seculars, the moderates, the women's movement, students' movement, artists, cab driver, real civil society. We need to invest in those.
All right. It doesn't hurt to put them on notice that Americans will not be soft either. Walid Phares, we thank you so much for your comments as always. Good day to you, sir.
Thank you.